इंडियन इलेक्ट्रिसिटी rules जो था पहले वो तो इंडियन एक्ट जो था that earlier days that act has been changed and after combination with you can see here that 1910 and also 1940 they had made a electricity act. In 2003 the act was implemented. Finally in 2010 also it has been used as electricity act, and that will be discussed separately. And today's topic is your Indian electricity rules, which in 56 was replaced by the Central Electricity Authority measures relating to safety and electric supply regulation 2010, and that also has been modified time to time. It has been modified also in like 2015 and 2018 some annexures also added, but actually you can see that this regulation 2010 which was done, that is got a total 10 chapters. Total 10 chapters are there. Yes, total 10 chapters are there. In each chapter, the various regulations, number 1, number 2, number 3, like that, that has been mentioned. So these regulations actually, this is very vital and people should follow, because it also indicates the safety rules there also in the electric supply system. And in the chapter 1, and mainly it is a how it has been, these rules have been developed, that regulation has been developed, and its different definitions of the different types of engineering terms used in this, that has been discussed there. And chapter 2, there are 11 regulations are there, where persons who will be authorized to handle the electricity supply system, and also some who will be the safety officer in different areas. Actually, you will see that it covers all the electrical supply system of the country, and where the power stations and other establishments are there, transmission distributions are also there, and also your tractions is also there, and electric traction system there, and also the mines are also available there, mines also there. So various places it is there mentioned the different regulations. So in these 10 chapters, from chapter 2 to chapter 7, from 2 to chapter 7 actually, already it is covering the related to your transmission distribution system. So mainly we'll deal all these things, discuss all these things, because it is mainly for your area where you will deal. So now these one thing one by one I will discuss. Chapter 2 actually it is a general safety requirements is mentioned there, and there are so many regulations, but specifically there are regulation 12 is a construction, installation, protection, operation and maintenance of electric supply lines and apparatus. It is dealing, and regulation 19 it is handling of electric supply lines and apparatus, and regulator 29, regulation 29 is it is a precautions of to be adopted by consumers, owners, occupiers, electrical contractors, electrical workmen and suppliers. And regulation 30 it is a periodical inspection and testing of installation, and regulation 32 is the installation and testing of generating units, that is what the power stations mainly. And in regulation 33 the precautions against leakage before connection, and regulation 35 the supply and use of electricity, these are also mentioned there. And other, this is the I just indicated that these are the very vital regulations. So also the other regulations are there, one by one we will discuss. So the regulation 41 is the connection with earth connection, how it is done, what to follow, what regulation is telling that you have to follow. And 42 is the earth leakage protective device. And regulation 43 is the approval by inspector. Any establishment, whenever it will be installation is done and the erection commissioning is over, so it must be approved by some inspector. That is also mentioned there. Who will be the inspector for this purpose? That as under this regulation, that is also mentioned. And this regulation 45 it is interlocks and protection circuits, and 55 is a condenser which is used. This is a capacitors actually which is used there, that has been mentioned. So other regulations is like that. 69 is a line crossing and approaching each other. So what will be the system followed? And regulation 70 is the guarding of these lines, how it should be guarded. And regulation 74 the protection against lightning, and regulation 75 unused overhead lines. These are the main things actually, these are the regulations actually we are following. The other regulation, there are so many regulations actually. Total regulations in the 10 chapters. It is your 95 actually your regulations are mentioned there in the total. Total is after chapter 116 regulations are there, but that all are not related to the distribution system or transmission system. So you can see that these are the different types of definitions we are using the regulation number 1 and number 2. These two definition, it gives the regulation number 2 gives the different definitions of the total regulatory these issues actually. These 2010 in regulation manuals actually it is mentioned there. You can see that I have given it just a simply, you can see the one by one A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, like this different what are the Act means Electricity Act 2003, accessible means within physical reach without the use of, like this, it is a some definition you must follow. The particular term actually, this electricity terms. Circuit means actually arrangement of conductor and conductors for the purpose of conveying electricity. Circuit breaker means a device capable of making a breaking and circuit under all conditions and unless otherwise specified. So designed to break the current automatically under abnormal conditions. Like this, actually there are so many definitions. It is under regulation 2. So there are so many definitions actually it is giving. You can see that, you can afterwards you can go through this. And these are all concerning all these things, not only this transmission, distribution, generation also, and mines also, tractions also. Everywhere it is mentioned, all the definitions are mentioned there. These are switchboard. Volt means actually unit of potential difference electromotive force and is the difference of electrical potential which exists between 2 points of a conductor. Like this, you can see that volt and voltage, what is the difference that is there. So what is wattage? Everything is mentioned in there. And the regulation 3, it is in chapter 2. That earlier it was a 1 and 2 regulations was in chapter 1, and chapter 2 it is mentioning the other regulations. In chapter 3 you can see that there are up to from 3 to 11 there are total regulations are available. So it is a designating a person to operate and carry out the work on electrical lines and apparatus. Actually, it must be designated properly. It must be approved by the CA authority and CA manuals. So a supplier or a consumer or the owner, agent or a manager of a, this is for the mining there. This is the, I will not discuss on this. This is for mine. So number 1 is for the mines, and inspection and design officers and other safety measures. It is also, it is the register, they should maintain a register, and the regulation shall 3 shall be produced before the electrical inspector when required by him. And these are things we have to follow. And number 5 actually the electrical safety officer. Who will be the electrical safety officer? So that is it is written there, all suppliers of electricity including generating companies, transmission companies and distribution companies shall designate an electrical safety officer for ensuring observance of safety measures specified under this regulation in their organization for construction purpose, operation purpose, maintenance purpose of power stations, substations and transmission and distribution lines. The electrical safety officer shall be an electrical engineer. He must be an electrical engineer, a degree holder with at least 10 years of experience. उनका 10 साल एक्सपीरियंस चाहिए आफ्टर द ग्रेजुएशन. एक्चुअली आफ्टर ग्रेजुएशन डिग्री होल्डर ही विल एटलीस्ट 10 years एक्सपीरियंस होना चाहिए. And for operation maintenance of electricity plants of an electrical engineering, or if an electrical engineering diploma, he may be also this safety officer, electrical safety officer with 15 years of experience in operation and maintenance of electric plant. So these are the basic these are idea that how the regulation is telling that who will be the electric safety officer. And this electrical safety officer is a under sub regulation 1 shall ensure periodic inspection of such installation. And actually nowadays the different distribution sectors, different distribution sites, the government of India has told that through the CA, actually under control of CA, they have told that everywhere the installation must be checked properly with some designated electrical safety officer. So that is mentioned here. The electrical safety officer designated under sub-regulation shall ensure periodic inspection of such installation and get them tested and keep a record thereof. And such records shall be made available to the electrical inspector if and when required. So electrical inspector will come and from the outside actually agency. Agency means actually from government body like your this authorized body, and it should be mentioned and it should be shown to him, this electrical inspector. For every factory registered under Factory Act 1948, we have the Factory Act, that is a 1948 Factory Act, where it has mentioned what to do for the factories, and more than 250 kilowatt of electrical load is connected. If the load is more than 250 kilowatt, then every factory, the management of the factory shall designate a person having qualifications specified in sub-regulation, whatever the earlier we told. They must have to keep a person as a safety officer, electrical safety officer, ensuring the observance of the safety provisions laid under the Act and the regulations made there under, who shall periodically inspect such installation. And that safety installation जो उनका पास है, तो he that must be occasionally and frequently actually बीच-बीच में को check करना पड़ेगा. It should be keep tested and keep a record, and it's a record maintain karna padega. When the electrical inspector will come from outside for checking, that should be shown to him. This is the safety regulation 5, and this safety regulation 7, it is mentioning the safety measures for operation and maintenance of electrical plants कि क्या क्या safety लेना है, तो ये इसमें बताया जो in the safety measures operation and maintenance of electric plants के लिए क्या क्या measures होना चाहिए. So engineers and supervisors are appointed to operate under or undertake maintenance of any part or whole of the thermal power generating station and a hydro plant, together with the associate substation, shall hold diploma in engineering minimum from a recognized institute or a degree in engineering from a university. Well, that is actually nowadays it should be implemented, but it's still not implemented. It is that they should, when they operate that, appointed to operate under or undertake maintenance. Operation and maintenance must be done by this qualification. And the technicians to assist the engineers or supervisors shall possess a certificate in appropriate trade, preferably with a 2 years course from Industrial Training Institute. ITI से होना चाहिए, the state government or central government. They should assist only the supervisors. Engineers, supervisors and technicians engaged for operation and maintenance of electric plants should be successfully undergone the type of training as specified in Schedule 1. Schedule 1 actually, it is not shown here. So what type of training they have done, the electric CEA, they have proposed the syllabus. And on that basis, the training is mentioned. Like this course, actually, it is also CA under CA regulation, it is approved course. Your certificate will also be valid for that. This actually this 26 weeks program as per CA regulations. So whatever CA syllabus is there, that CBIP is following that. Now this schedule 1, it is mentioned there. What are the different types of transmissions? What type of subject will be there in distribution? Also, what type of there or transmission distribution as a whole? What will be the syllabus and what will be the coverage? Like your thermal power stations, also this 52 weeks program is done for the thermal power stations. This is a postgraduate diploma. It is mentioned there. So all these things, it is under CA manual and CA regulations. It is mentioned there. So in the sub regulation 3, within 3 years of the date of coming into force of this regulation. Actually, this regulation coming force of the 2010. That is means 13 से implement होना चाहिए. But I don't know whether it is implemented or not. But it should be a this diploma, whatever the power sector diploma is there. This is a power PG diploma. That must be acquired by everyone. That is the rule, but still it has not been implemented. The owner of every thermal power generating stations and hydropower plant, together with their associated substation, shall arrange for training of personnel engaged in the operation and maintenance of his generating station. ये जो है ना, जो ट्रेनिंग का जो सर्टिफिकेशन इज वेरी वेरी requirement is there, very it must be must there, along with the associated substation in his own institute or any other institute recognized by the central government of or state government, provided the separate training shall be given to the person engaged. Actually, this is the like your CBIP. There are other organizations are there like NPTI and others also. There are organizations which has been certified by CA. The CA has given approval, and the course is there as per their design syllabus course is maintained. So they will issue the certificates also. So that actually it is in the regulation also, it is mentioned under sub rule 4. It is mentioned that owner of every thermal power generating station, hydropower plant, together with their associated substations, shall arrange for training the personnel engaged in the operation and maintenance of each generating station and the associated substation. So everywhere it is must be there. Similarly, it is a T&D also, it is mentioned that transmission and distribution also the certification is required. The safety measures for operation and maintenance of transmission and distribution system.